Hello everyone, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Again, apologizing for my voice. Still getting over this cold. I'm so excited to share with you guys. This is the new May card kit from Simon Says Stamp. So depending on when you're watching this, May 2016. This kit is called Showered with Love and it's super adorable. I'll have links to the kit and to the stamp set in the description box below the video. So I'm using pretty much just the kit to make this set of mini cards. I couldn't decide on which image to use. I sat and stared at them for so long and I was like, I couldn't decide. So I was like, I'm going to use them all. So I decided to make mini cards. So the kit comes with a sheet of Simon Says Stamps smooth white cardstock. So I'm stamping each of the images from the set that comes in the kit. This is the Happy Days stamp set and it's adorable. So I stamped each of the images onto pieces of the white cardstock that I'd trimmed down with my paper trimmer. And I did different sizes of the papers for different images just to break up the monotony so that everything won't be exactly the same in the end. And then I stamped all the images with Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. And then I pulled out my Prismacolor pencils, which I have not used in forever. I've done videos on, I've done a video on Prismacolor pencil and odorless mineral spirit info. I've done videos on how I store my Prismacolor pencils, all that sort of stuff. It's all on my channel. If I remember, I'll try to link to them in the description box below the video. But all I'm doing is coloring the colored pencil onto the image. And then I have some artist grade odorless mineral spirits here in this little jar. It's just a little tiny spice jar that I've had. And I have a sponge in there that I've put in there. And then I pour in some of the artist grade mineral spirits. And then I'm just using blending stumps to pick up the odorless mineral spirits. And then it breaks down the waxes and oils in the colored pencil. So that's how I'm able to smooth out the color and spread it around and get it to where I want it to go. So really easy technique. With all of these images, I just used one color for each section. I didn't blend a bunch of colors because you can do that as well, like blend different colors together, that sort of thing. I usually keep it fairly simple. So I just color closer to the edges of each area. And then I use the odorless mineral spirits and the blending stump to break down the color and pull it into the centers where there will be lighter color. So I go back and forth. Sometimes I'll add a little bit more color with the colored pencil, just depending on how far the color ends up going. So I colored in each image with different colors, but I chose colors that matched the pattern papers and the cardstock that come in this kit. So like I said, keeping it fairly simple. This cardstock is really good for this technique. It's smooth, so that it enables the odorless mineral spirits and the colored pencil like to kind of glide smoothly. So I don't have to work too hard at blending, and the cardstock isn't rough in any way, so it's not grabbing at the pencil stumps. So really, really simple technique. Like I said, check out my other videos on YouTube if you're interested in any of that or if you've missed them, because it was, gosh, a good couple years ago at least when I did them. I don't do this technique very often. It just depends on my mood. So yeah, I just thought with these it'd be something fun to do. So this little apple was the only time I kind of blended a couple colors. I did a little bit of green and then I added a little bit of yellow to the apple and kind of blended them together just to get that little bit of dual colors there. So once I was done each image, the apple and the little flower, I added a little bit of definition. Like I added a little bit of shading around the apple so it looks like it's actually sitting on something. And the flower, I'd added that little bit of brown on the bottom to kind of look like the ground. The rest of the images I left as is. Didn't feel the need to go into a bunch of like shading and depth with them. I wanted to keep these cards just kind of fun and quick and easy. Cards that I can, pop into my kids' lunches, or the one can be, included with a gift for a teacher, that sort of thing. So once I was done with all of the coloring, there's a little speech bubble in the set, and I stamped that 6 times, to one for every image, onto some of the scraps of this same white cardstock. And then there's several small little sentiments that are included in the set, so I stamped those as well into the center of each speech bubble. And then I fussy cut out all the speech bubbles, and then to finish them off, I just grabbed my Memento Tuxedo Black marker, and I'm running the edge of the brush tip of the marker just along the edges of these fussy cut speech bubbles, and that just coats that white cardstock that's kind of peeking out from cutting out these images, and finishes them off and just makes them look a little more complete and less messy. So once I was done all those, all my little card bases, like I said, I'm making mini cards. So I cut down some of the colored cardstocks in the kit down to 6 inches by 3 inches. And then I'm scoring each one at 3 inches with my Teflon bone folder and then pressing down that crease. So then I'm going to have 6 little 3-inch by 3-inch mini note cards. So I do all these steps at once. I did all the stamping at once. I do all the coloring at once. I do all the cutting at once, that sort of thing. It just makes the process so much more streamlined. You pull out one tool at a time, you do one thing at a time, and everything goes a lot quicker this way. It's just how I always do things when I'm making either multiples or mass producing. I find it just makes the process so much quicker. So once I was done all of the cards, I did the pattern paper, which again comes in the kit. So I just trimmed down several different papers. And then I noticed I got a little bit of pencil mark on this little cloud image. So I'm using this is the Tombow sand eraser, and hopefully I'll remember to link to that in the description. It's kind of new on the market, but it's meant to help erase colored pencils, and it does have like a sandy grit to it. It's awesome. Like, I just got them and I'm already loving it. It's so good. So I use that to erase that little bit of a mark that I got on there. And then finally, I'm going to assemble all my little cards. So I've got the little bits of pattern paper and the stamped images. So I just adhered the pattern paper and then adhered the images into place, just kind of slightly varying, my little layouts and that with all of these guys. And then for the little speech bubble sentiments, I just pop those on with a little bit of foam adhesive, so they've got a little bit of dimension to them. And then finally, as a last bit of embellishment, there are sequins that come in this kit that I love the sequins. Like, they were the perfect choice. They match the pattern papers, the colors, everything about them. I want like a huge jar of these sequins. I actually had a hard time using them on these cards because I'm like, I want to keep them all. They're so pretty. So I just pulled out, there's about 3 sizes of all these different colors of sequins in the pack. So I pulled out colors that kind of coordinated with each stamped image. And it just so happened that by fluke, in some ways, it just seemed to work that there was like a perfect shade of these sequins for each card that I did. So there were the greens, there was pinks, there was yellows, there was blues, there was purples, all that sort of thing. So I adhered 3 sequins to each little mini card, a large, a medium, and a small. And I just used my Ranger multi-medium matte adhesive. The kit does come with a quickie glue pen. I will admit it rolled off or something in the process of making these, and I couldn't find it for the life of me, and I was battling this cold and all this stuff, so I just grabbed my multi-medium mat, so that worked. So that finished off all these fun little cards. Like I said, I will have a link below the video to my blog post, as well as links to all the supplies used, so check that below if you're interested. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.